It began with a whispered phone call in the dead of night. Erica Mena's voice trembled as she remembered yet another quarrel with her husband, Mendeecees Harris. Rumors had previously circulated about his hidden problems, but Erica now feels his drug addiction and illegal trading had driven a knife through his family's heart. Insiders say she discovered hidden stashes of pills in his trailer, strange financial payments via unknown accounts, and coded communications organizing late-night drop-offs. Fans are outraged, emotions ran high, and the family was split when Erica took to social media to reveal her proof in a tear-stained livestream. As word of Erica's shocking allegations emerged, production workers on Love and Hip Hop apparently paused filming. Smith was seen running into critical meetings demanding proof and answers, colleagues talking in costume trailers about encounters they never recorded, and hot voices resounding down phantom corridors. With Erica's startling admission, the question on everyone's mind is simple. Is Mendeecees covertly selling relief for profit, or is his wife spinning? As supporters waited to see whether the guy they cheered for would collapse under controversy or emerge with his reputation unscathed the morning after Erica's. The atmosphere on the lot appeared to be a war zone, with lights standing idle, cameras idling, and coffee carts abandoned as staff gathered in groups. Whispers of secret deliveries and concealed pill stashes echoed around the hallways. One assistant producer, eyes wide, reported that she saw Mendeecees leave his trailer before dawn with a tiny suitcase. "I thought it was makeup," she said, voice shaking. "Then I spotted the tablets." Fans were astonished, emotions ran wild, and Erica's allegations cast a dark shadow over every set wall, causing the family to separate. She paced in her own trailer, her phone screen displaying messages from friends, relatives, and network authorities. Yandy texted, "We must approach him immediately." Erica responded with a voice. She could barely be heard on the recording she later shared, saying, "I can't keep pretending this isn't harming us." Decided to reveal the messages she'd secretly taped late-night chats in which Mendeecees begged for more supply, claiming he couldn't sleep without it. The release of those records set off a firestorm on social media, converting private sorrow into public outrage. Moments later, Yandy approached Mendeecees in the makeup trailer, her voice quivering as she reprimanded him. "You swore you were in recovery." He sank to the floor, head in his hands. "I'm sorry," he murmured, his tears mingling with the words. "I thought I had the fluorescent light under control." Erica's voiceover on the released audio slashed through the tension management. "When you nearly shattered her words came as blows, and the real wrath in her tone revealed the depth of her pain." Production executives hurried to contact. During an emergency halt, one seasoned producer moaned, "We can't film while this happens." Networks issued carefully crafted statements about supporting cast welfare and evaluating the claims. Meanwhile, newspapers jumped on the reality TV star turned drug lord, shouting one headline, "Family in trouble," and another with a story of betrayal claiming Erica. Acting out of envy, the contradictory stories fueled the commotion, leaving spectators unsure who to trust among the Harris family siblings assembled. His mother wailed gently in the kitchen, her face creased with dread, while clutching a framed photo of Mendeecees laughing with his children. "I don't want to accept that," she wailed as his brother slammed the table, teaching us that facts are more important than rumor. Erica's father had been silent up until then. He placed a calming hand on his daughter's shoulder and muttered, "We stand by you, dear," as fear sparked in his eyes. Family unity was shattered by suspicion, and late-night talk shows made the debate a must-see on television. Legal experts examined the encrypted emails Erica had sent, and addiction counselors weighed in on the signs of dependency. One therapist warned, "Addiction thrives in secrecy." Another person questioned the public exposure. This may impair their chances of recovery. Viewers questioned whether Erica's confession was a necessary intervention or blatant exploitation, and pundits stoked the fire. In an unexpected twist, a former cast member came with new allegations that he had seen Mendeecees conversing with a man in a hoodie underneath the stage entrance. "I thought they were shooting a scene," he stated. Turns out it was genuine security files that subsequently revealed unidentifiable visitors after curfew when questioned. The network claimed film production overruns, but the time matched Erica's text records. The midnight drop-off texts she'd uncovered the confluence of tales and formed a fascinating narrative of unlawful. Meanwhile, Mendeecees had gone into isolation, and camera flashes spotted him leaving a treatment institution. Was this a relapse therapy or a public relations move? One admirer observed. Instagram, "He is poisoning himself and the show." Another answered, "Give him compassion. Addiction is a disease." The internet conversation echoed the initial tension. Mendeecees denied orchestrating any distribution network in a leaked video while chatting softly. On his phone, "I've only ever sold drugs to help pals who were in pain." Erica responded in her next live broadcast wrath, igniting her words of friendship. "You'd give. Taking kids away at late from parking garages is not therapy. It is trafficking." The conflict is played out live, revealing raw emotion and chords deeper than legal peril. Family friends came forward with contradictory testimonies, one of whom claimed Mendeecees confessed to delivering drugs to a childhood friend. Thinking he was assisting another admitted to getting pills and selling them for profit. Dueling narratives interwoven reality like a web. The clan gathered for Erica's planned family intervention, which called for total transparency. Mendeecees burst into tears. "I'm lost," he said. "I don't know who I am anymore." His confession offered no clear remedies. Production now faced a difficult decision. Should they capture the intervention for a special episode? Could they combine authenticity with the dignity of real? People in crisis circulated notes about an honest service arc, but sponsors objected. One major brand withdrew their backing, stating that, concerned about brand safety, the network secretly created an alternative season focusing on other cast members' stories. Outside the studio gates, supporters held prayer vigils and signed online petitions, some pleading with Erica to drop charges. Others urged law enforcement to look into the possible trafficking of the Mendeecees family, a chunk of which trended darkly, indicating profound anguish. A vigil outside the studio door drew hundreds of lights, as whispers of hope and horror mingled. Erica was tired. Nonetheless, he conducted a goodbye interview to a late-night website. "I never intended to hurt him. I adore him, and my children need protection." Many people identified with her frailty, while opponents pointed to her tear-stained cheeks as evidence of theatricality. "It's reality TV, not reality," one comment said. The conflict between empathy and cynicism ran deeper than any tale. As darkness fell during those first tough days, the Harris family seemed to be half empty. Erica sat in the living room, shoulders sunk, scrolling through messages of support and scorn after closing the door to a guest room in search of peace and quiet. The weight of her decision pressed on her bones. She chose truth above peace, but at what cost? The family was divided, with mother and father torn between attachment to their son and faith in their daughter. Production eventually issued a brief statement promising to assist Erica and Mendeecees during this difficult time, while also ensuring the safety and well-being of our actors. However, beneath the polished words are cloudy questions about whether cameras would ever film actual recovery, or if the next controversy would overshadow this one. Fans in search of closure braced themselves for Part 2, which would see the narcotics investigation grow, alliances shift, and family connections tested like never before. The morning after Erica's live broadcast, the studio lot was unnaturally calm, and the sound stages were dark. When camera crews vanished overnight, reports of covert drug exchanges and midnight drop-offs echoed through vacant hallways, and producers received irate emails from sponsors demanding explanations. Inside a conference room, network officials argued whether to continue filming or to cease completely. "We built our show on drama," one producer said, his voice cracking. "But this is real life and too dangerous to ignore." Erica met with a senior private investigator in her trailer and released evidence indicating Mendeecees' GPS pings placed him in unoccupied garages at 2 Salars a.m. Bank transfers to untraceable accounts mails with code names for shipments. Her hands shook as she traced each line on the spreadsheet. "It all links," she said softly. "My husband is operating a ring and it's killing us." Her voice crackled with sorrow, but her will was unshakable. Friends nodded, determined to help her uncover the truth. Yandy Smith went through her own tragedy at a local recovery clinic. As she came to support guys after last week's overdose, reporters cried, "Yandy, do you still trust him?" She paused, her eyes welling with tears. "I believe in rehabilitation," she said, her voice stronger than expected. "But I need first." Her statement went viral on social media, sparking heated debate about whether she was standing by a monster or a troubled man. Back on set, cast members gathered in small huddles. A stylist recounted noticing unlabeled pill, bottles in Mendeecees' trailer waste and mistaking them for drugs, while another colleague recalled a mysterious visitor delivering him a brown package. During filming, the duo's whispers spread like wildfire as they ignored signs of illegal activity for the interest of viewers. Trust faded as partnerships progressed, with some backing Erica's call for intervention and others warning of treachery. Mendeecees headed to a friend's apartment under heavy guard. When photographers spotted him exit via a back door with his hood down low, they wondered whether he was fleeing Erica's wrath or federal investigators. Video leaks supposed to show him meeting with 2 unidentified people and exchanging cash and small gifts. The veracity was not proven, but when newspapers released video looped with dramatic music, the damage was done. Public opinion swung between sympathy for a man struggling with addiction and outrage at a suspected trafficker at Mendeecees' downtown law office. Lawyers examined the information Erica's team had submitted to federal agents, searching for abnormalities in transfer amounts and suspiciously geolocated data that replicated known studio commutes and communication timestamps. Contrary to phone records, their plan emerged: undermine the legitimacy of the evidence, uncover breaches in the chain of custody, and identify probable frames. Framed by opposing cast members resentful of Mendeecees' reappearance, lead counsel Jasmine Rodriguez leaned back, penetrating, "We'll prove this is smoke and mirrors." But at private family meetings, the Harris clan struggled with shock and uncertainty. Mendeecees' mother, who had earlier stood firm in her beliefs, now sat quietly in a corner. Trembling as she checked social media, his sister's voice forcefully turned to the others. "We can't ignore these charges, but we can't forsake him either." A relative warned that Erica's public exposure threatened driving Mendeecees farther into darkness and jeopardizing the family's unity. Strained under the weight of confused loyalties and fear, late-night talk show panelists understood the story. Addiction specialists emphasized the need of empathy and rehabilitation above criticism, and legal experts cautioned of the dangers of fast decisions without due process. According to one psychotherapist, addiction thrives on secrets. Nonetheless, exposing someone publicly may hamper recovery. Another presenter said, "If the data is valid, we cannot support trafficking under the guise of sickness." Millions of viewers tuned in to see the clash of personal tragedy and legal intrigue amid the frenzy of Mendeecees' former partner coming forward in a clandestine interview and claiming to have witnessed money swaps in dark alleyways supervised by a guy matching Mendeecees' description. His voice trembling, he revealed code names such as Alpha Drop and Clean up while skeptics questioned his motives, labeling him a bitter ex-friend out for revenge. Supporters contested his testimony. Erica's screenshots were authenticated, but the contradictory statements added to the mystery and further divided supporters. Meanwhile, Erica's agent lobbied with major news outlets to grant her the first public interview since her accusations. In private, Erica practiced her responses to questions regarding motive, evidence, and potential regret. "I spoke forward to rescue my family," she would say. "Mendeecees gets the rehabilitation he needs, but I will fight to protect our children." The network recognized an opportunity and dangled promises of primetime coverage, skillfully balancing sensationalism. Production executives held crisis meetings to rework the season's storyline. Whether they portray the incident as a redemption arc or shift to other cast members, a draft blueprint proposes a 3-part special detailing the operation, Erica's quest for truth and Mendeecees' path to healing if he came out of hiding. Sponsors balked at the idea of profiting from addiction, requiring clearer wellness rules before production began. The network's public relations team developed new standards for cast help. Outside on the eye lot, fans lingered overnight, hoping to get a glimpse of cast arrivals. Some displayed banners reading, "Seek truth, not ratings." While some begged for Mendeecees' return, supporters discussed ideas and hoped for a resolution around campfires lit by portable heat lights. The community's bedside vigil reflected a broader need for honesty and accountability on reality television. As the sun rose on the second day of this unfolding drama, FBI investigators confirmed that individuals should overcome misfortune rather than be crushed by it. They had launched a formal investigation into the alleged distribution network. Subpoenas were sent to key cast and crew members, including producers and personal aides. Investigators sorted through a set of documents, including financial records and messaging backups. Each subpoenaed person had the option of cooperating and risking, disclosing private information, or resisting and facing contempt charges. The stakes had never been higher not only for Mendeecees, but for anyone involved in the scandal. In a final twist, an anonymous tip led detectives to a remote storage facility. The discovery of unmarked containers, some labeled with street slang, for narcotics, sparked a new wave of arrests and expanded the probe beyond Mendeecees to include accused co-conspirators. The next morning, tabloids splashed the headline "Ring Exposed," alleging that Erica's boldness may have revealed a larger criminal organization hidden under the gloss of reality television. As the investigation grew, Erica prepared for the crucial step of proving her statement in court and facing the full weight of criticism. The world was torn between outrage and empathy, scandal and atonement. The story promised future discoveries, legal battles, and maybe the potential for healing if truth triumphed over lie and true lives survived the spotlight. The morning after Erica's live show, the studio lot sat in strange silence. The empty coffee carts and deactivated cameras hinted to the production freeze that had been implemented overnight. Secret drug stashes and midnight drop-offs plagued the halls as producers fought to control the fallout. 3 executives clashed violently in a meeting room hidden by staging. Whether to cancel the rest of the season or focus on addiction awareness, special sponsors demanded guarantees of cast well-being and data protection. They could no longer seek ratings without first acquiring real individuals. A top publicist had an emergency meeting in her trailer, accompanied by a small group of loyal supporters. Along with her laptop, which showed bank accounts with unusual payments and credit card transactions related to the distant warehouses, a retired investigator recounted GPS data suggesting Mendeecees' SUV was unoccupied in industrial locations about 3 a.m. Acrylic sheets included printed messages. His phone coding highlights phrases like package and drop point in neon. Red Erica's voice trembled as she pointed to the timeline. "This isn't just addiction," she claims. "He's running shipments." Yandy arrived seconds later on the lot, her usual elegance replaced by genuine dread. As she emerged from her car, paparazzi vehicles surrounded the perimeter. Reporters surrounded and screamed. When asked about her husband's suspicious transactions, she responded with a single statement. "I support his recovery, but I'm with my friend in discovering the truth." Co-workers surreptitiously watched the encounter, wondering whether she was supporting Erica's cause, or protecting personal interests in network decision-making. Backstage castmates congregated in little groups of terror. One stylist said she had seen unmarked pill bottles thrown in a cosmetic trash bag days previously, and another background actor recalled seeing Mendeecees. Those moments seemed weighted. When I emerged from a service elevator with a brown plastic bag, supposing it contained food props, friendships were strained as some friends expressed strong support for Erica's bravery, while others were concerned that the scandal would hurt their employment and insisted on waiting until formal. In the meanwhile, Mendeecees was isolated in a private recovery facility by court order. Yandy softly touched his arm. "We're here for you no matter what." His counsel had arranged for a private family visit in a peaceful setting. He nodded, his eyes downcast, and continued, "I want to make this right, but I'm afraid about what occurs next." Their melancholy conversations spread to rumors. Aside from the public spectacle outside the lot fan sites, the blog showed an unsettling level of personal pain. Buzzed with intense discussion hashtags, such as Chad Turth's family apart and seek, the righteous trended, revealing a fragmented audience response. Videos arose, and some viewers applauded Erica's fortitude to disclose the truth, while others chastised her for spreading dirty linen. Conspiracy channels scrutinized every detail, from Mendeecees' SUV type to the dirt in the mutual friends appeared on podcasts to rebut or support allegations, with each guest appearing to, in the Harris home, stress boiled over because they knew just enough to add to the mystery. Mendeecees' mother was outraged by the allegations and confronted his siblings in a closed-door family gathering, when voices rose as they questioned whether they had disregarded warning signs too late. Night messages, odd absences, and alleged indebtedness. His father, a senior police captain, believed that discretion was necessary. Mother wept. "If you loved him, you would support our daughter in her pursuit of evidence." The debate paralleled the wider question of whether federal agents should prioritize their familial responsibilities above their justice pursuit. Performed a pre-dawn raid on a storage aid